Whether you like it or not, all the teams that we have raised have had pressure from people who want their junior brothers, their sisters to be in the female team, and their junior ones to be in the national team. That puts pressure on the coach and the technical crew. And we know them. We know this. It's not a hidden matter. So I want to appeal that sports writers do as much as possible, very little, in encouraging or accepting gratification by promoting a player to the national team when we know he's not the best player around. It has happened. We have endless number of cases. Endless number of cases. There are quite a few number of players today being proposed by sport writers who would not even get a shirt in Obanta United or Famous Scorpions. And we know them. We see them. With more than 100 FM stations in the country reporting sports, as much as 50 newspapers reporting sports on their sports pages, Nigeria is quite ready for the biggest sports coverage and hopefully the best Super Eagles performance in a very long while. With a president that will be watching, I wish to remind our players of how the wrong attitude can ruin a potentially good tournament. In 1994 AFCON, the morning of the match against Egypt, the head coach and assistant had a bust-up over team selection, and the assistant came to our room in Diplomat Hotel Room 109 to cry. This was in Tunisia. Another minor argument arose that same morning over who wears jersey number 13 of the Super Eagles. These things happen. Similarly, in France 98, General Yakubu Gowon came with the Nigerian ambassador to France to the hotel to see the players, and 4 of the players walked out on the delegation. Part of what Chief Onigbinde was talking about. As soon as they started speaking, those players walked out. Now, that was not even the kick. The kick was that some of those players were not even speaking with each other. 2 defenders were not speaking with 2 midfielders in France 98. We were in the hotel there and we know them. And they were not on talking terms. So what are you talking about? 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1. What are you talking about? And these two midfielders and these 2 defenders they got out of their rooms and they left their rooms for those periods we were in the hotel. Eventually that night, we lost to Denmark 4-1 at the Parc des Princes Stadium. So how do you have a team where players are not talking to each other? How do you have a team where players refuse to pass ball to each other? How do you have a team where some of them even think that members of the NFF are not with them? So how do you handle all those things? These things are there. So put in all the money you want, have the best organization, go with your minister, let your minister talk with them. If the team is not united and cohesive, we will have a major breakdown in communication. Football is about communication. And whether you like it or not, with all of what we've said, we can only hope that the teams rise to the occasion. On a day like this, you have Victor Moses, you pray he plays well. You pray that Mikel is in the right frame of Mikel Obi is in the right frame of mind. You pray that Moses Simon finds his rhythm. You pray that Leon Balogun and Trust Ekong have their rhythm. You pray that Ozohu, the goalkeeper, is in good form, or Enyama. Ezenwa, sorry, not Enyama. Ezenwa. You pray that Oji Onazi or John or Mikel Agu has the right frame of mind. If they don't, and Odion Gallo does not get ball, we saw that the 2 times we beat Argentina, or the last beating we gave Argentina, even Messi, even if he had played, would have had to work hard because, as the NFF president said, he worked on the mentality of the boys. As we speak, we were in South Africa 2010 with Samson Siasia was sitting next to me. Ogbon Nakano was right behind me. We were playing Korea in Bloemfontein. And Echejile was going to mark a player. And he fell down and we saw him shaking. Siasia said to me, Idefia. what is the mentality of our players? We might have the right guts, we might have everything, but if the mentality is right, if they're not speaking together, if they don't depend on what they are told and the leaders on the pitch, and the match strategy, and the quality of opposition. Quality of opposition matters. If you don't know the quality of your opposition, forget it. So how much are we studying our opposition? What do we know of them? Who are our jokers that we'll use? As I said, we all hope that the Eagles will do well. I'm not one of those that will say, win the cup. I want them to do well. And I will give you this song, which late Omeka Omerwa taught me when we were winning Atlanta 96. Jim Wobodo was there. Emeka Omerwa was here. Andrew Young was with us when we were winning the Atlanta Olympics game, football tournament. And they taught me this song, and I learned it that day. I think those of you who understand, it's an Igbo song. You will sing it with me. Boya chuku no gazia. Nigeria will perform. Boya chuku no gazia. One more time, just one more time. Boya chuku no gazia. Nigeria. What is better than a Hausa man speaking an Igbo song?